In an earlier video we saw how it's possible to add county polygons to a map in MapMate by going to the Edit menu, Insert, More Map Features. But as we saw, there are a whole range of different features on the list here, as well as the county polygons, and in this video we're going to look at the hydrology features. It's possible to add all the hydrology features directly into an atlas map from this point, and we could do that by ticking the boxes and clicking on Insert. However, if you put them directly into an atlas map, you end up with an awful lot of features in your feature list, and it becomes very difficult to control them. For instance, the hydrology features will end up being drawn over the top of the dots, and because each one is a separate item, it can take a long time to sort that out. So I generally prefer to set up the hydrology independently as a map in its own right, and then that map can be added all in one go to any other atlas map in which you wish to use it. So let's see how we can do that. We'll cancel this one. Our starting point for this needs to be a new map, and then go to the new blank map wizard. You can just click Next for UK and UK national grids, and then at the third screen you need to tell MapMate which county you're interested in recording, and for this example I'm going to go for Viscounty 22, which happens to be Berkshire. And we can now give the map a name, and I've just called it VC22 Hydrology. OK that. We've created a new blank map, so there's nothing visible of course, but as we've seen previously, when you move the cursor around, the grid references change in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. So we know it is a map. Having created the blank map, we can now start adding the hydrology to it. So it's back to Edit, Insert, More Map Features, and the hydrology features are at the top of the list here. Remember that if you go to this list and the hydrology features or any other items are missing from it, then that means they haven't been installed onto your copy of MapMate, but you can download them from the MapMate website and add them into your system that way if they're not already in the list. As you can see, there are a number of different types of hydrological feature that MapMate makes available. It doesn't appear to be documented what the definitions are for some of these things. For instance, there's a marsh layer, but I'm not quite sure what information that's based on. But you do have the choice of which of these layers you wish to display on your map. For this example, we'll tick all of them, but obviously you could just choose the rivers and streams, or you just choose the lakes, whichever option fits your purpose. So having selected them, we click on Insert, and we confirm that's what we want to do. And they've now been drawn, and we have to click on Cancel to remove this additional map features box. So we can now see that we have a map showing the hydrological features for the area around Viscounty 22, and that's all we need to do at this stage. We've created the map. It's completely blank apart from the hydrology, and that's fine. Having created this map, it can be used in a number of different ways. For instance, you can set up a base map specifically to have the hydrological features within it, and let's try doing that next. So we go to File, New Map, Base Map Wizard, find Viscounty 22, and I just want to show the Viscounty boundary at this stage, so I'll untick the county ones. Now by default MapMate's called this VC22 base map, but we're going to add the hydrology to it, so I'll put that in the name as well, and click OK. So there's our base map, but without the hydrology showing at the moment. So the next thing is to put that in, back to the Edit menu, Insert, but this time we're going to insert another map. And the map we're going to insert is the one we created just now, showing the hydrology. And there is our base map with the hydrology added. It's looking a little bit messy at the moment though, because the hydrology map that we've just added has been drawn over the top of everything else, which means that the county boundaries have got obscured in some places, and it's also a bit messy around the edges where it crosses some of the numbers and so on. But because we've added the hydrology as a separate map in its own right, it's quite easy to sort that out. All we need to do is to go to the feature list. I'm going to click on the type column to sort that into an order, and somewhere in this column you should be able to find the map that we've added, which is currently sitting at order 7, which means it's being drawn on the top. So if we right click over where it says 7 and send to back, we can now see that the county boundaries are sitting on top of the hydrology, and that looks a bit neater and tidier. And of course, having created that as a base map with the hydrology, we could now use that base map to construct a species atlas that would also include the hydrological layer. So we've successfully added the hydrology features to a standard base map in MapMate. It's possible to do this with one of the shaded base maps as well, although there's one or two extra steps involved in doing that, so we'll just have a go at that. We'll open the shaded base map that we've created previously for Vice County 22, but having opened this, what we actually want to do is to create a new version of the shaded base map that has the hydrology on it. We don't just want to add the hydrology to this version of the map, because in some cases we'll probably want to use the shaded map without the hydrology. So the first operation to do is to save a copy of this map that we can use for the hydrology. So we go to File, Save, Copy of this map as, and it's currently called VC22 base map shaded, and we'll just add the words with hydrology after that and OK it. In MapMate, when you save a copy of a map, it keeps the original open and saves the copy elsewhere on the system. So at the moment we're still looking at our original shaded base map, so we now need to go back to File, Open, and find the one that we've just renamed and resaved as the one with hydrology, and open that. It tells you at the top of the screen which map you're currently looking at. So this is the copy of the base map that we want to add the hydrology to, and we do that by going Edit, Insert, Another Map, and then finding the blank map with the hydrology that we originally created and inserting that. Once again, it's put the hydrology on top of everything else, which mostly doesn't look too bad on this map, but there are still places where it's overlaying the grid numbers and letters. So we need to go back into the feature list, sort the column into order, find the hydrology map that we've just added. It's currently at order number 9 on top of everything else, so we right click and send to the back, and it promptly vanishes because it's been sent to the back behind all the shaded county polygons. So this is where the extra operation is required to put the county polygons back behind the hydrology. At first glance this looks a bit cumbersome because there are lots of county polygons in this map that all need sending to the back, but there is a way of doing it in one go. All the county polygons are currently being drawn at level 2, order 2 in the system, and we can right click over one of those 2s and select this order. And what that does is to select everything that is currently being drawn at order 2 into one group. And if we now right click again over one of the 2s in this column, this time we don't want to just do send to back because that will only do one of the counties. We want to go to the group to back option, and that should send the whole of these highlighted group to the back. And what we now have is the counties sitting behind the hydrology, but the hydrology is still behind the grid lines and numbers. So that's given us our shaded base map with the hydrological features added. And now we can go on to use this base map with our species atlases and whatever else we might want to do. And we'll just quickly look at that. So we need to open our species atlas map. This atlas map is currently using the standard shaded base map. And to change that, the first thing of course we need to do is to make the map editable, because it's an atlas map, you can't edit it straight away. And if you remember, you can either do that from the View, Show Feature Detail, or you can just click on the purple tick. And if we have a look at our feature list and sort it by type, we can see that we're currently looking at the base map shaded, and that's the only map we have in here. So if we go to the Edit, Insert, Another Map, and this time we want to find the base map with the hydrology that we created earlier and insert that. That's inserted fine, but as usual it's been put on the top so we can no longer see the species dots on this map. So we go back to our feature list, find the map we've just inserted, right click on the order, send it to the back, and the hydrology map is still there, but now of course it's behind the standard base map without the hydrology. But that's fine, because if we go back to the feature list we can now see we've got our 2 maps and we can choose which one of them we want to show just by ticking or unticking them. So to have the hydrological features on there we can untick the standard base map. But if we decide that we no longer want to show the hydrology in this atlas, we can untick that one and retick the standard one, and you have the choice of which one you want to show at any particular moment. So the sequence there was first of all to create a new blank map in which the hydrology features go, and just the hydrology features, nothing else. Having created that map with just the hydrology, you can add that as a layer to a base map, and then having created a base map showing the hydrology, you can use that base map in your species atlas maps.